All right. Stream. Stream. Things look like they're going right. All right. Cool. Hello, stream. We're recording a video. We're doing some stuff. We sent an alert out to Instagram and we sent an alert out to some of my friends to kind of announce stream. Not expecting this to be a huge stream, but hey, this might be some fun content for YouTube. Let's get started. So, what I have right in front of me here, you can see I've got a lot of boxes. We've got the new Magic the Gathering set. We've got Foundations. Let's talk about Magic the Gathering Foundations. Foundations is the latest Magic the Gathering set to be released. And the idea behind it is that it is the return of reprint sets. Now, what is a reprint set? Reprint sets are evergreen cards or simple cards in Magic the Gathering that are considered really easy for people to learn, pick up, and update, and to be able to just run with it, to be able to start playing the game right out the box. In addition, these cards are going to be legal and standard for several years. The idea being that with them being legal for so many years, you've got a solid foundation if you want to start playing the game with your friends, make new friends at your local card shop. But I got wondering to myself, hey, Anton Rain, thanks for joining. I got thinking to myself, is this product actually good? Is this product actually going to let you get started playing Magic the Gathering? And it's a really great question because I'm going to be honest with you, this is an expensive product. Magic the Gathering Foundations is not known to be an exceptionally powerful set. And if you're just getting started, you want an easy way into the game, how are you supposed to know that you're getting the right bang for your buck, the right value for your money, and how do you even get started? How do you even build a deck? This video, this stream, we're going to do that. I have 3 products here in front of me. The first of which is a Magic the Gathering Foundations Starter Collection. The next is a pre-release pack and a bundle pack. Now, these 3 items represent what you could find at a local game store, what most people would suggest for you to start out playing the game with, and we're going to actually try and just build a deck today. I have an additional deck box, some sleeves, and I have a bunch of other cards in the other room. But honestly, we're going to ding this product for every time I have to reach out and get something. The idea is that if I'm someone that's new to the game, I want to just buy something and go. I want to just be able to play. And so this will be a great video for starting or recurring people that want to build their own deck, but don't want to just buy something off the shelf. They don't want to get something that's just handmade for them. Let's get started. So let's talk about the products. The starter collection is the first thing that we're going to look at. A starter collection is, I want to double check my receipt. I don't think I have it, but I was able to get this for about, I want to say $40. And this is over 350 cards. It has 3 Magic the Gathering boosters in it, a click wheel for your life counter, and of course it's a storage box. So the question is, can we start building a deck right out of the box? There's 2 formats in Magic the Gathering that are going to be really popular thanks to this set being made. The first of which is Standard, which is a rotating format that every so many years has different types of packs come in and out. We can build decks and have fun and join tournaments and just learn how to play the game in a 60-card format with a lot of duplicates and to get very simple, just play games. And the other one is Commander. Today we're going to try and make a Commander product because it's the most popular format. And look at this. We've got a deck builder's guide that comes with this box. I'm opening these completely blind. So let's take a look at this. They're talking about what are the type of values, what colors do you want to play. White mages value teamwork. Blue mages are knowledge. Green mages value nature. Red mages are freedom. And then here they're talking about synergies. Okay, so like creatures that have second chances, elvish things. It looks like this is set up pretty much for standard, which is fine. Here, how you're building your decks, you want 24 to 26 lands, 17 to 22 creatures, 13 to 18 other spells. Yeah, that's great for standard. We're building a commander deck today. Let's try to actually build something that is the most popular format in Magic the Gathering and what people actually play with on a day-to-day basis at your local card shop. So, starting with just this, can we build a deck? Well, we got a few stack of things. Ooh, shinies. Let's change over to the better view here. Hey, look at that. But let's make it a little easier for you guys to see. Let's do a little flip here. Transform. Flip vertical. There we go. That looks a lot better. And you know what? Let's do a little zoom in here so you guys can see a little clearer. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's make it a little easier for you guys to see with contrast. Very cool. So the first thing that we have here is a real nice, shiny box of cards. And we need to take a look at opening them. Let's see if we can get that glare off for you guys. That looks a lot better. Cool. Still a little shiny, but that's fine. Let's start opening cards and take a look at what we have. So, Commander. Commander, for most people who don't know, it's a 100 card deck that has no duplicates in it, only singles, and as a result, they're a little harder to build because you need to have more of an established collection. So we're going to see if we can build one of those just out of what we have here. Let's start. So, the first rare that we get is a Lyra Dawnbringer, which is a all-star in Commander. Focuses on angels being good. It's got first strike, lifelink, 5/5 flying, very good. Another great one, Rite of Replication. Sweet. Great card, foil. Massacre Worm, another great card. Gratuitous Violence. Look at that, wow. Gigantosaurus. Look at this boy. 10/10, 5 mana. This could actually be really kind of cool. It's a big dinosaur. We have an Adaptive Automaton, a Gilded Lotus, Maze's End, which is the kind of Guildgate strategy of trying to win the game. I have a whole deck around that. And now we're getting down to some uncommons. Angel of Vitality, Make a Stand, Confiscate, Negate, Feed the Swarm, Gatekeeper of Malakir, Gutter Snipe. Let me add that a lot of these cards that we're taking a look at here are serious Commander All-Stars. I actually feel pretty good now that whatever we're building here is going to be a solid deck. Now, we're getting to our first doubles. They gave us 2 copies of Imperious Perfect for Commander. We don't want that. We're going to get that out of here. And we're going to go focus on what we've got here. So if we begin to see doubles, we're going to take them out. Palaka Worm, Boros Charm, Unflinching Courage, Expedition Map, Hedron Archive. Alright, we're down to some non-foils now. We got Cat Collector, Divine Resilience, Joust Through, Twin Blade Blessing, Clinket Sky Mage, Face Broom Trick, and now we're getting back more to some of these doubles. We got Mystic here when you draw a second card and make fairies, Arbiter of Woe, Infestation Sage, Duplicate, Midnight Snack, Midnight Sack. Beginning to get more duplicates here, so I'm going to keep them separated. Now, what do we need? We really need to focus on getting ourselves a solid Commander. Now, Commander for the Commander format is a legendary creature You can see that we have a creature here. It doesn't have the legendary archetype. That is preferably one or more colors, and as a result, we can begin to build a 100 card deck around those colors. There's rules that we cannot have cards that are outside of our colors, because then it's not in the theme of the commander that we're building around. Think twice is one that I always love. I am really impressed, though, with some of the great choices that are in here. Like, look at Exsanguinate. Exsanguinate's an EDH Commander All-Star, and so as a result, I'm feeling pretty confident that we could actually build a fairly decent deck around what we have here. We just need a good commander. And right now, I haven't really seen a commander that we really get. He was 4 Burst Lightnings. Man. For someone that's just getting started, you know, like, and want to play Standard, this is a great box. Actually, that's a singleton, so let's put that in here. Heartfire Immolator, Hitagetsu Second Right, Seismic Rupture, Thrill of Possibility. We'll see if we can get ourselves through this first stack of cards and move on to whatever we have next here. Lots of great things. Hey, did they give us 4? Yes, they did. They gave us 4 Llanowar Elves, which is great. Alright, and we got a few more things here. We've got an Empyrean Eagle. We got Heroic Reinforcements. Hey, and we've got a legendary creature that's 2 colors. Perfect. This is our first commander kind of possibility. Ruby Daring Tracker. It has haste. When it attacks when you control a creature of 4 or greater, it gets bigger, and it taps for mana. I could see this being a solid commander that we could build around. They're our first kind of possibility. Now, let's take all of these out of our focus box here. Set them off to the side. And let's talk about what else is in the box. Because for $35, I feel like we haven't necessarily already broken that value, but we're doing pretty good. Heck, for $35, these click wheels that is also in the box is something that was costing like $25, $30 at MagicCon Las Vegas while I was there. And just clicking this on through, it's got really good tension. We're able to set it at 40 life for commander or worse, or whatever we need for standard. This is great. This is going to be awesome. So we're going to set that off to the side. And while I'm opening and pulling things through the box here, I do want to thank OP Comics and OP Comics for helping me get access to these materials. There's a lot of stuff in this box. Wow. And helping advise me on what things they thought would be interesting for this video. Just looking at this collection box already, it's pretty cool. We have these little divider slots that would be really great for someone just getting started if you wanted to sort your own collection and have it all together. I'm setting it up right here so that way you guys can see kind of accurately. So we have this storage box to kind of contain the starts of your collection, and comes with 3 booster packs, and we haven't even gone through all of the cards yet. We still have 3 more stacks of these cards to go through to see if this is actually a good value for the amount of money we paid for it. The other things that we have here today is this pre-release kit, which has some bonuses and 6 booster packs in it, which I would not suggest for someone that wants to just start playing the game right out the box. And we have a bundle, which is something that I actually would recommend. Having 9 booster packs in here, plus some foils and some special things, and also a box to store your collection, also is a pretty good way to get yourself started and to join your friends playing the game. So, we've got our different pieces off to the side here that are all duplicates. We have our stack of singles that we can already use for a deck. Let's open some packs. Let's get into there, because this is where we're going to begin seeing the most variability of what we can get. and the most exciting kind of opens that you wouldn't find in just a starter collection. So starting with commons, it looks like these actually have the really, really gorgeous art cards, which is what I usually like to open by looking at my packs with. Sometimes these will be signed by the artist. But let's go through the pack. We have an Elementalist Adept. We have a Limitless Rebuke, Gorehorn Raider, Hungry Ghoul, Giant Growth. We already had one from our starter pack, so I'm going to set that off to the side. Erudite Wizard, a Quick Draw Katana, Inspiring Call, Battle Song Berserker, Divine Resilience, Imprisoned in the Moon. This actually used to be a rare. It's cool to see it out uncommon. We have a Swift Blade Vindicator, which is our rare for the pack. And then a Firebrand Archer and a gorgeous full art forest. No legendary creatures. Disappointing, so we still only have one strong possibility to really kind of build our commander around. And I shouldn't say just one strong possibility. If we really, really wanted, what we started with today, Lyra Dawnbringer, is another legendary creature that we could use. But being stuck to using only white cards, I think, isn't going to really help us with our challenge. So we're going to set those two off to the side as our legendary creature possibilities. Pack number 2. Let's get into it. Broken Wings, another one that we had a duplicate of. It's not going to help us for our challenge. Uncharted Voyage, Axguard Seraph, Vanguard Seraph, Axguard Cavalry, Infestation Sage, Beastkin Ranger, Elfsworn Giant, Fanatical Firebrand, another duplicate for us. Imprisoned in the Moon, another duplicate for us. Empyrean Eagle, another duplicate. Aetherize, great card for Commander. Sky Knight, Squire. Zombify, great card, one that we have for foil now. And a Tranquil Cove, we got ourselves a non-basic land, awesome. And then another art card. Set the art card off to the side. I think we opened a Zombify already, but if I get the chance, I'm going to use that pretty one. Now, let's talk about a little bit more of the actual Foundations box. So, I notice we have this little tiny box here, this little tiny bag, and it already is going to have 3 cards that are going to be must-includes for our Commander deck. You can see right here, we have 3 special foil cards. We have an Arcane Signet, which is if you tap 1 mana for any color in your commander's color identity. A Soul Ring, which taps for 2 colorless mana. And a Command Tower. Now, these cards are special because these are Foundation's commander cards. I do know about this. These are 3 cards that we're pretty much automatically going to put into our new commander deck because they are not legal in Standard. They are only for the commander format, and we're going to try building a deck using them. So I'm going to set these off to the side with our actual commander possibilities, so that way we have them nice and available when we're ready to open those sort of packs. So, last pack of the starter box. Let's crack this open. The hope at this point is if we can get a few more commanders in 2 colors, let's see what we can get. Got another art card. Look at that. So pretty. Big kitty. Big kitty. Alright. Firebrand Archer. Crypt Feaster. Got ourselves another Llanowar Elves. Set that off to the duplicate pile. Uncharted Voyage. Another duplicate for the duplicate pile. Banishing Light. Good removal. Treetop Snare Spinner. Armasaur Guide. Goblin Negotiation, Juggernaut, Dauntless Veteran, Dragon Trainer, and hey, we got ourselves a nice Planeswalker. We got ourselves a Chandra Flame Shaper, Planeswalkers are really powerful in Magic the Gathering and have a lot of abilities that we can do. I think this might be our first kind of money hit. However, Planeswalkers cannot be our commanders. So, while it's really exciting to see it here, we can't really use it for our challenge unless we use Ruby, Daring Tracker, as our commander. So, not great there. We got ourselves a Bushwhack, wow, and a Dismal Backwater. Awesome. More stuff that we can use, but not necessarily things that get us excited or get us in the right direction for what we want to build. So, I see another stack here. Second big pack of cards. Look at this. Look at how many cards you get here. And there are so many stacks of these. This is just the second one. And I already see rare multicolor cards on the top here. So let's open this up and let's start going through it. I'm hoping that in this stack we can find ourselves a good commander, because we could not find one when we opened up the packs. And while we have more packs over here that we can open, the hope is that we could build a commander deck pretty much just out of what we have here. So let's get started. We have a Consuming Aberration. Nice rare. Angelic Destiny. Wow, what a mythic. This is a card that was really good in Standard back when I really played a lot. That's exciting. Alright, we got our Charming Prince. So charming. We got a Felidar Retreat, a Fumigate, Linden, the Steadfast Queen, a legendary creature. Nice, another kind of monocolor commander opportunity, but we don't really want to stick to monocolor, just because then we're working with fewer of our cards. So I'll put them over in the legendary creature, but I'm not really excited about that. Mentor of the Meek. Regal Caracal. We got ourselves another legendary creature. Zetalpa, Primal Dawn. This guy is huge. Flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible. 4/8, and costs 1,000,000 mana to play. Actually 8, but it's effectively 1,000,000. Another legendary creature. We'll set it off to the side, but once again, not excited about that. Arcanus, the Omnipotent. Great card. Great card for a really long time, especially for newer players. Another legendary creature. As much as I love blue, not exactly excited about a mono commander. Let's keep going. Dictate of Kruphix. Finale of Revelation. Great mythic. Harbinger of Tides. River's Rebuke. Sphinx of the Final Word. Tempest Djinn. Voracious Great Shark. Cool things. Looks like we're on some black now. We have a mythic, Demonic Pact. Desecration Demon. Dread Summons. Kalastra Highborn. Midnight Reaper. Hey, we got ourselves another legendary creature. Myojin of Night's Reach. Now, this is a great card in Commander. However, my concern is that, once again, we're in multicolor. Hopefully we can begin to see some more multicolor commanders as we go down. Null Priest of Oblivion. Wish Claw Talisman. Ball Lightning. Dragon Master Outcast. Very cool. Harmless Offering. Laughless Dragon Queen. We've got ourselves another legendary creature. And hey, it makes dragons. Can't hate that. Redcap Gutter Dweller. Stormkirk Noble. Torian Mauler. Looks like we're on to green now. Hero's Bane. Predator Ooze. Primal Might. Primeval Bounty. Rampaging Balots. We got ourselves a legendary creature now. Surak the Hunt Caller. Not bad for a monocolor commander. Vizier of the Menagerie. Wildborn Preserver. And now what I was hoping we would find. Not just multicolors, but multicolored commander creatures, it looks like. We have Aurelia, the war leader. Now I'm excited because we're looking at some mythics and some legendary creatures that would make great starter commanders. Aurelia is a great one, and we're just going to get even better. Here's one that I've actually played for a really long time. Eilidh, Eternal Pilgrim. This is a great one that you can combine with like Lurrus strategies in Commander, which is another really popular card in order to build a deck. We got two really, really solid Commander options already. So add that with Ruby Daring Tracker, and now we have a red-green, a red-white, and a white-black combination. Let's look at what else we got. Drogskull Reaver, not a legendary creature. Makes me sad. But here's one. Helena, and Elena, partners. Human Ranger, legendary creature. Being in combat of your turn, you can put +1/+1 counters on another creature you control, where X is this creature's power and it gains haste. Pretty great for a go wide, just kind of attack strategy. That's exciting. We got another great option here along with Ruby. So we'll set that off to the side. We got 4 solid commander options now. Immersturm Predator. To think of a day when Maelstrom Pulse would be super standard legal, and not only that, but incredibly good. This card is so powerful and had such a standard presence back in the day. It had a modern presence. Modern being one of the great ways to play Magic the Gathering that has changed over the years. Now we got some more commanders. Let's keep going. All right, Oveka, Enigma Goliath. This is one from the new Phyrexia set. You can see they're a Phyrexian Nightmare. When you cast a non-creature spell, create X red Phyrexian Goblin creature tokens, where X is the mana value of that spell. They gain haste until end of turn. This is another great option. Blue-red is a very popular combination of colors. I'm going to put that in our commander pile. We've got 5 options now. Prime Speaker Zagana. Exciting. Very exciting. We got a blue-green commander. Very easy to build blue-green decks in Commander. This is hype. This is one that I played for a really long time when she first came out in the... oh my gosh, was it Gatecrash? I think it was Gatecrash for the Return to Ravnica block. Great card. Another great commander that I would love to build around. Commander count at 6. Now, let's keep going through here. I think we're at the end of our multicolor rares, just based on what I'm seeing. We got our Wiltleaf Liege. Let's keep going, and let's keep talking about what's in the pack. Basilisk Collar. Cultivator's Caravan. Darksteel Colossus. Mage Mind Tome. Pyromancer's Goggles. Hey! Ramos Dragon Engine. Now, as far as it goes, this is going to end up being our great catch-all for Commander. Because the way that Commander color identity works is that we have white, blue, black, red, and green into our Commander cost, into our Commander color identity. Ramos, straight out the starter set box, is going to be a great choice in order to make use of all the cards that we got here and try to build the best Commander deck possible. This guy may end up being our Commander at the end of the day. I'm going to set him off to the side. Let's do 7 now. Steel Hellkite, Crawling Barrens, Temple of Abandon. Wow, are they going to give us one of every temple? I think they are. So temples are 2-color lands that come into play and have a scry strategy behind it. Awesome. Just great stuff in here. And it just gets better and better. We're back into more multicolor stuff. It looks like multicolor uncommons. We got a Tatyova Benthic Druid, an absolute Commander all-star that lets us draw cards when we play lands. It's value for just playing the game. Great choice here. I'm actually really impressed with this starter collection. Let's set aside Tatiova as another great commander option. Our commander options are at 8. Burnished Heart, Heraldic Hammer, Meteor Golem. Alright, we got some more tap lands here. Bloodfell Caves and a duplicate. Blossoming Sands and a duplicate. I think we're going to kind of follow that pattern. Evolving Wilds, Jungle Hollow, Rogue's Passage, Rugged Highlands, Scoured Barrens, Swiftwater Cliffs, Thornwood Falls, Tranquil Cove, Windscarred Crag, Get Wrecked Crag, and we got ourselves an Inspiring Overseer, and Into the Royal, 4 copies of Opt, which would be great for Commander. Going to put that into our duplicate pile. And that covers... Is that really the whole second pack? I'm seeing a whole nother... No, these were what we got out of our booster packs. Okay, I got to keep track of all my piles here. So far, we've only gotten 2 things that we can't actually use in the challenge, which is the art cards. We've gotten all of these, which are singletons that we can use to build our commander decks. Wow, look at this. We'll switch over to the big cam for a second here. We've been going for 30 minutes, and for a brand new player, we have all of these cards. All of these. Like, this is huge. In fact, I'm going to go as far as to say, let's take all the cards that we got out of the booster packs, and let's just set them aside. And I say that from the aspect that I think what would be really exciting is if we could build a deck that used only cards from our precon, or from the... Oh my goodness, I'm losing my words. If we can use only cards from the starter deck to build our first commander deck ever, that's a great testament to this product. So, now, next, we have another big stack of cards, and it looks like they're basic lands. Basic lands are your bread and butter of Magic the Gathering that lets you actually begin to join and play Magic. Magic uses a land system in order to test the amount of, basically you're limited to playing only 1 per turn, and you want about a third of your deck to be lands. Let's open these up and see what we got inside. My hope is that this is just a big block of basic lands, so that way you can build your first deck. And as we open it, it looks like I'm just going to fan these out instead of picking them all out. We've got some full arts. We got a lot of basics. Yeah, alright. We've got some basics to get us started playing the game. And we've got a bunch of tokens that I bet are for cards that we're seeing in here. And then we got 2 helpful reminder cards that show you how to cast spells, what to do on your turn, different instructors on how to play the game. That's really exciting. I think there's a lot of good stuff in here. Let's set the basic lands aside. And last but not least, let's open our final box, or final little pack here. We've got, it looks like mostly common, because we ended on blue commons from the last kind of pack of singles. So let's start here, and let's see what we get here. We've got a Moment of Craving, Suspicious Shambler, Undying Malice, Dragon Fodder, a duplicate of it, Thornweld Archer, Archway Angel, Valley Brush Banneret, Cedrus Odric, Crusader of Odric, Dawnwing Marshal, Devout Decree, Disenchant. I'll try to go through these a little quickly. Felidar Cub, Knight of Grace, Release the Dog, Stasis Snare, a duplicate. Another legendary. I think we can pretty safely say that we don't need to stick to monocolor commanders, so I'm just going to add them back into the mix here. So Sir Alan, the Lion's Claw. I'm also going to throw all these guys in. Valorious Stance. Charter Course. Dive Down. Flash Freeze, Frog, Fog Bank, Gateway Sneak, Mystical Teachings, Shipwreck Dowser, Unsummoned, Deathmark, Driver of the Dead, Duress, Night of Malice, Pulse Tracker, Sanguine Indulgence, Tribute to Hunger, Vampiric Rites, Vile Entomber, Bolt Bend, Crash Through, Dragon Mage, U2 Lava Runner and a duplicate, Giant Cinder Maw, a Hoarding Dragon, that used to be a rare for a really long time, Mind Sparker, Obliterating Bolt, Ravenous Giant, and Viashino Pyromancer. We're into green now. We have a Circuitous Root, a Fierce Empath, another monocolor commander, Finn the Fangbearer, Gnarlback Rhino, Mold Adder, Ordeal of Nylea, Spring Bloom Druid, Venom Connoisseur, Cloud Blazer, we're into some multicolor, Deadly Brew, a Dryad Militant, an Enigma Drake, another multicolor commander option for us, Darna, Bloodfist of Keld, very exciting, Mortify, Savage Ventmaw, Teach by Example, Trigon Predator, and some artifacts, Diamond Mare, Felden's Cane, Fire Shrieker, Gate Colossus, Sorceress Spyglass, Soul Guide Lantern, 3-Tree Mascot. It looks like we've got a whole bunch of stacks of non-basic lands now. Azorius Guildgate, Boros Guildgate, Cryptic Caves, Demolition Field, Dimir Guildgate, Golgari Guildgate, Gruul Guildgate. This is really exciting because the different Guildgates are kind of a code name in Magic Gathering for the different clans of Ravnica, the guilds of Ravnica. And these different color combinations are frequently referred to by these guild names. So really exciting to see that they've kind of leaned into it, gave everyone a copy of one, and just let them run from there. Now, we've got a whole bunch of stuff in here. Ooh, we even have some full art stuff. Really exciting. We have a Hinterland Sanctifier, Rabbit Cleric, there's 4 of them. And now we have some borderless stuff. That looks really cool. We have an Ajani's Pridemate, a Refute, Vengeful Blood Witch, an Abrade, Reclamation Sage, and a Swiftfoot Boots. All Magic, just all stars. We've got some more full art basic lands. And that concludes what we have in our kit. So, let's set this off to the side. And we now are going to go to the big version. And let's talk about the cost-benefit ratio here. If you can find this for $35, like what I think I got it for, this is an absolute steal of a cost of Magic the Gathering. And let me talk about that a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see this product for $50, honestly. And trying to think about how much my checkout price was, these are usually about $90, and thinking of the starter collection, it's always the same cards all the time. All these cards are going to go way down in price. I'm not shocked that this could be a $35 product designed specifically to get people into the game. So, with that in mind, let's get a little bit taller here, and let's start talking about options. We've now hit the actual portion of the game where we're going to try and do a deck building challenge. I've got a stopwatch here. We're going to hit play. And now that we have all the cards in front of us, let's talk about building our first commander deck. So, my hope today is I have Pencil, who is not aware that I'm doing this challenge, and barely knows that I'm probably streaming right now, I'm going to build a deck that's specifically set up to try and play against her black-white deck. Now, she's gotten a lot of experience using this deck at MagicCon Las Vegas and has been working on tinkering and improving it over the last few weeks. She's really excited. She's been playing this deck for quite a while, and I need to be able to build something out of completely starter cards that can put up a fight against what she has there. And the goal is that we're going to play a game and record it and see how it plays. So, just looking at our different commander options that we've opened out of this box, we have black, red, we have blue, green, we have white, black, we have red, white, red, green, and then we just have all the colors with Ramos. Now, this said, I'm going to push this just out of frame here. Hopefully you guys can still see the timer. So that way you can see how long it's taking for us to build a deck using just this product. Garna, Bloodfist of Keld, Ruby, Daring Tracker, and Halana and Nolana. Okay, looks like that's just a little off screen. There we go. I'm going to set myself some reminders so I know just how far you guys can see. Based on what we have here, I'm going to be really honest. I think the strongest deck that I can build to try and fight what her deck does is to use Ramos. And the reason why is that I can choose pretty much any card out of this entire pack and pretty much use anything in order to build a proper deck. And I think that's really exciting. Now, that said, is that going to be as synergistic as choosing a two-color combination? Honestly, no. But that said, Ramos is very powerful, and being able to have a flying 4/4 for 6 mana, being able to cast spells and have it get bigger, and to be able to have 5 +1/+1 counters, remove it to get a whole bunch of mana, also really exciting stuff. I think this is the most exciting commander for me, but this is 100% a case where your mileage may vary. If you want to just get started playing the game and build a starter deck, I really think it would be more valuable to get started with some of these two-color combinations that are much better off. In fact, I would even say focus on Aurelia the War Leader. Being able to see all the different angels that we saw during the set, as well as Aurelia's Flying, Vigilance, and Haste, being able to be this powerful and come out right on top to be able to start building and playing right out of the gate, I think this is a really exciting commander and a really great choice that you could use for your first commander ever. In addition, I love Tatyova. I think Tatyova is another really great choice for someone who's just getting started playing the game. Prime Speaker Zagana is also really good. I would advise almost against Aili the Eternal Pilgrim, because it is a very aristocrat kind of use your creatures as value kind of commander. It's a very sacrifice in order to get more value kind of strategy. And when you're a newer player, usually you like to have your creatures up. You like to have that wall. You have that kind of emotional attachment to what you have on the battlefield. I would advise against Aili because this is not a strategy that's really advisable to new players. So let's take Aili out of the list here, and let's take a look at what's left. Ovica is very good and very strong. Having Ward means that it's going to be very difficult in order to kill it. Garna, also very good. If you want to play a commander that anytime your creatures die and it's all about attack, 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 I think that this is a great choice for black-red. 100% would suggest that. And being able to go between Halana and Elena or Ruby for red-green, also very possible, very good. I think if you chose any of these piles here, you could not go wrong, and you could build a really strong commander deck out of this. In fact, I'll go as far as to say, if we have extra cards here, let's see if we can build a second commander deck. So, let's get started. 5 minutes. We lost 5 minutes just talking about the cards. That's okay. Ramos, Dragon Engine. Very exciting. I personally like Ramos a lot, and it's a commander that I've wanted to build for a long time. Being able to do it right now is really exciting. Now, I'm an enfranchised, I'm a established player, so I already have some sleeves as well as a deck box that we're going to be using today. The idea that I have here is that I wanted to get things that you could just find at pretty much any card shop and get started with. These are the Ultra Pro Satin Towers, and they have a real nice kind of deck box design, and then at the bottom here they have a little compartment for your different dice, which are really nice for new players, being able to be like, I have my box, this is everything that I want in order to get started playing the game. What else could we do? And then today I'm using some extra sleeves. These are Dragon Shield blue sleeves, just real simple stuff. Stuff that I've had lying around or just kind of extras. And in addition, I have gotten very simple, if you could just like ask the people behind the shelf. You can have an extra sleeve or just one kind of thing that was sitting around or something that was left around. Say there's a bunch of people playing around. Ask for a spare sleeve. This is what I'm using to distinguish my commander from the rest of the deck. So we're going to start by sleeving up Ramos. Ramos is going to be our first commander. Now, in addition, we're going to sleeve up our 3 kind of automatic includes for commander. A command tower, the Sol Ring, and the Arcane Signet. These are going to be especially powerful in Ramos because Sol Ring's 2 colorless mana helps us play Ramos's cost. Command Tower is going to tap for any color of mana, and same with Arcane Signet. These 3 are going to be so valuable to our game plan. So let's set those here, and we've already got 3 of our 99 taken care of. Awesome. So, let's get sorting. One of the things that Magic the Gathering players either love or loathe, depending on how often you do this game, or how long you've been doing this game, is sorting cards. And you're going to see here that I've gotten a lot of time and a lot of experience working with it. We're going to set down here. And we're just going to settle things into colors. The idea by putting things into colors is that we can have an idea of how many of each type of card that we have, what kind of color distribution that we have. And I'm going to set aside all of these gates, all of these special multicolor lands, and set them off to the side because they're going to be critical to a part of our strategy. Set these colorless aside. These are other non-basic lands. These are more multicolor cards. These are more green cards. These are more red cards. These are more black cards. These are more blue cards. These are our extra rares that I just kind of threw in the middle. We'll put these with white up here. This is really kind of a fun little challenge here. I'm really excited to actually get to the point that we're trying to play this against a real deck, against a real player, because that's one thing I've always found kind of frustrating about Magic the Gathering, is that if you wanted to get started playing the game, it usually cost you a lot of money in order to get started. Like just to even buy a starter commander deck. Some starter commander decks are in the upper, let's say, $40 to get started. Some of them are in like the $100 range in order to get started. If this really is an effective cost balance ratio where we're getting the opportunity to build 1 or even 2 commander decks just by buying this $35 product, I'm going to be telling all my friends that really want to get started playing the game that this is the de facto way to get started, that this is the de facto way to start playing Magic the Gathering. And that'd be really exciting for me as a player and enthusiast to be able to encourage more of my friends to join and to play. So, we've got these. Here's more white. Here's more multicolor. Red. More black. More blue. More white. We got more colorless. More multicolor. Green. Red. Black. Blue. White. Here's that Maze's End from early on. I hope you remembered it. Gilded Lotus, Gigantosaurus, Gratuitous Violence, Master Worm, and Rite of Replication. Alright, back to our stopwatch. We're at 11 minutes so far. And let's get back to talking about how we can fill out a lot of slots to this deck very easily. Ramos is a 5-color commander, which means that we need to be able to have access to every color of mana. We need to be able to get all of our colors that we need in order to play the other cards in our deck. And Ramos really, really likes whenever we play spells that are more than one color, meaning that all of our multicolor cards here become really valuable, especially depending on what we use. So a lot of those cards that we were talking about how good they were can make a really strong commander. So let's talk about lands. For this deck, it's going to be exceptionally hard to build a good mana base, but in general, we're going to want to go for 99 cards in the main. We're going to want to target about 36 to 38 lands in order to get started. Now, we're pretty lucky that they gave us a set of 10 temples, a set of 10 enters tapped, gain a life land, and a set of 10 guild gates, which means that's already 30. Then on top of that, we have a Maze's End, which is you may return this land to its owner's hand, search your library for a gate card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. You control 10 or more gates with different names, you win the game. Meaning that we already have a gate deck literally sitting in here. This makes it 31 lands, and we would just need 5 other lands in order to get started. Here's a basic plains, here's a basic island, a basic swamp, a basic mountain, and a basic forest. That puts us at 36 right out the gate, meaning our entire mana base is solved. Now, if you told me that all these pieces were going to be in here intentionally for someone to build a commander deck in order to get started, I would call you a liar. But I'm beginning to think that this was kind of one of the things that Wizards was hoping that people could do with a starter collection in order to build their first ever commander deck and to be able to start playing day one. What would be really exciting is if I can point to this and say, hey, not only can you build one commander deck, but build 2 commander decks and really be able to begin playing with your friends, be able to say, hey, this is a deck that I'm really proud of, I got from a YouTuber, and this is something that I pretty much got to just build all on my own, which is what I would encourage you to do after we've set these cards aside, because we're going to have a lot of extras here. Now, I'm sleeving all these cards up. That doesn't necessarily mean that you need to buy sleeves and sleeve up all of your cards. But let me tell you this. When I got started playing Magic the Gathering in high school, got into a place where I had a really good elf deck, or at least I thought it was really good at the time. Honestly, it was kind of jank. But, you know, high schoolers, having fun, what can you do? I was really excited because it was lunchtime, we're playing Magic, just kind of hanging out with friends, and then someone, not even playing the game, spills their soda all over the table, and it ruined my elf deck. Now, of course, my friend never paid me back. I just kind of was out my entire Magic the Gathering collection due to someone else's clumsiness. I had nothing I could do about it. And that sucks when you have this moment when your entire collection is just down the drain. I found that after that, once I started using sleeves, if someone would spill something at the table, it doesn't always solve the problem. Like there's the opening at the top, obviously. But being able to protect the decks that I worked hard on and being able to love and enjoy and play with my friends, it feels great to be able to have that level of protection and be able to enjoy the game a little bit more. Now, we've got 37 cards, 1 commander, an arcane signet, and a soul ring, which puts our current deck total at 39 cards. 39 cards, we're about 16 minutes into our challenge. Let's keep building because we have a bunch of cards here and we want to build the best Ramos deck possible. Now, I'm not a professional commander player. I'm just here having fun, man. I have more decks than I know how to count, but I will tell you kind of what I'm thinking as far as building these decks, and if it makes sense to you, you can copy it, you can do whatever you'd like. This is just out the box what I would do to start playing the strongest deck that I see here. So, the benefit to using Ramos and why I chose him is that we have all of these really powerful multicolor cards. And what's crazy is that we get to use so many of them simply because Ramos is 5 colors. Like being able to have all 5 colors in his commander color identity, we can use all of them. And multicolored cards are usually, on average, stronger than a normal single color card. So, let's get started by looking at the multicolored cards one more time to see what we've got available to us. So, every time that we play one of these cards, we're going to put at least 2 counters on Ramos, and all of these cards that I'm looking at here, I'm hoping will trigger him for 2 counters or help us in some way that keeps the game going longer or generates value. In Commander, you are basically playing a Dungeons & Dragons style game that can last for several hours, and so you want card draw, you want advantage, you want to be able to last a long time and be the last person standing, especially in Commander. I didn't see any infinite combos in here, so I think this is going to be a really exciting deck that can have a really fun gaming experience. Unflinching Courage is cool, being able to have Trample and Lifelink, plus some added attack and toughness is going to be really valuable. Boros Charm is also a really good one, being able to have instant speed stuff that will allow us to have our permanents gain indestructible to deal with board wipes. Very, very valuable. Wardens of the Cycle is really good because at the beginning of our end step, if a creature died this turn, we get to gain 2 life and draw a card and lose a life, or draw a card and lose a life. This is valuable because card draw is so good. And starting in Commander, you start with 40 life. This is huge. And it's not just your creatures either. It's if a creature died. Really valuable. Here's some black-red. At the beginning of your end step, if you attack this turn, each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. Also pretty darn good. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. When this creature dies, return another non-bear creature card with mana value less than or equal to this creature's power from the graveyard to the battlefield. Non-bear. There's a lot of cards there that are non-bears. Let's keep going. Dreadwing Scavenger. When this creature enters or attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. This creature gets +1/+1 and has Death Touch as long as there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard. Death Touch is huge because being able to block things means this guy will always kill it in combat. I like this. This is pretty good. And being able to draw and discard cards, get to the other cards that we really want, is great. Heroic Reinforcements. First card I'm not hot on. Create 2 soldiers until end of turn. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain haste. I don't know. I don't think it does enough in the long term. I'm going to set it aside. Empyrean Eagle. Other creatures with flying get +1/+1. I also kind of feel like it doesn't really do enough. I'm going to set it aside. It does make your flying creatures bigger, but that's only really good if your whole deck is flyers. Now, here's an exciting one. Consuming Aberration. Power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in opponent's graveyards. When you cast a spell, each opponent reveals cards off the top of their library until they reveal a land. Put those into their graveyards. This guy can be really big, really quick. And he's 2 colors. He's going in. Maelstrom Pulse. I talked earlier about how good this is. Now, here's a flyer. 3/3 Vampire Dragon. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, exile up to 1 card from the graveyard and put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Exile another creature. This creature gains indestructible till end of turn. Tap it. Here's another flyer. Drogoskull Reaver. Double strike. Lifelink. Whenever I gain life, draw a card. Very cool. Now, Wiltleaf Leech is an interesting one. Green creatures get +1/+1. White creatures get +1/+1. And if an ability opponent controls causes us to discard this card, put it into play. Unless our whole deck is green or white, we're not really going to get a lot of value from this. I'm not excited about it. Let's not add this. Dryad Militant, really good card for kind of strategies to deal with opposing storm decks. If an instant or sorcery card to be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Deadly Brew. Each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker of their choice. If I sacrifice a permanent this way, and return another permanent from a graveyard to your hand, this would be really good if we wanted to get one of our really big creatures back. I like it. Another flyer. When this creature enters, gain 2 life and draw 2 cards. I love drawing cards. Trigon Predator. When it deals damage to a player, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment that player controls. Another flyer. Very cool. Ooh, interesting. We have Teach by Example. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. This is what we like to call a win more card. If we're going to be casting something that's already really good, this is great. But if we don't have anything else to use this with, this is useless on its own. Not super hot on this, but there are some decks that would really want this, like Ovica. I'm going to set this aside just because I don't think it's very good in Ramos, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad choice at all. Here's a flyer. And it's a dragon. Savage Ventmaw. When this creature attacks, add a bunch of colors. And then until end of turn, we don't lose mana as steps and phases end. That's huge. Mortify. Some creature removal. Enigma Drake. Another flyer. Power is equal to the number of instant and sorcery cards in our graveyard. It's a flyer. That's really exciting. But we're not an instant and sorcery focused deck. So I'm going to set it off to the side. Here's a cool one. Aili Eternal Pilgrim. We talked about it earlier. Being able to have a 2/3 Death Touch for 2 colors is pretty nice. Sacrificing another creature to gain life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. Pretty cool. Sacrifice another creature to exile target non-land permanent. Activate only if we have 10 life more than our starting life total. I'm a little iffy on this. It's a good card, but I'm not thinking that it's going to be great for the deck that we want to build, setting it aside. This is exciting. More drawing. Prime Speaker Zagana. This is going to be huge for us, drawing more cards in our deck. I'm going to set that aside. Here's a card that's just a 6/6 flyer at its worst. Ovica. And then when we play non-creature spells, it does more stuff. Let's keep that in for now, and let's talk about it later. If we have more cards than we need in the starting, maybe it's a maybe. We have a First Strike Reacher here. This is Helena and Elena. We have Ruby, Daring Tracker. When it attacks or you control a creature of power 4 or greater, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn, and it adds more colorless mana. I like that it adds the red or green mana, and being able to do that early in the game is what we like to call ramp. Having ramp in a commander deck is really good. I'm going to give that a shot. We've got the Garna Bloodfist of Keld. Whenever another creature I control dies, draw a card if it was attacking, otherwise deal 1 damage to each opponent. It's 2 colors. I think that's pretty good. We'll play that in for Ramos. Tatyova, great card, instant in. And Aurelia, another great card, instant in. Now that said, looking over at what we have over here, it looks like Aili is already like kind of a great opportunity to be kind of a second commander out of this box should we not need it. Should we choose to not use it. So I'm going to purposely try to not use any white or black cards just to see if we're excited enough or able to somehow make 2 commander decks out of what we have here. Now, let's set these all up here. We've got this many cards in order to get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 cards already. 23 plus 39. That is about 62, meaning that we would need 37 more cards in order to build a full deck. That's pretty exciting. Let's set these off to the side and just kind of guess they will probably be in. In this kind of deck, being able to tap for colors is incredibly important. So, of our cards that we have here into our colorless lands, I'm going to specifically take out and have Evolving Wilds ready to go straight into the deck. That puts us at 38 lands, pretty much guaranteeing that we'll be able to have anything, and this Evolving Wilds is going to make sure that we're going to be able to fix our colors should we get one. Very exciting there. And now let's talk about colorless spells. Since we're a 5-color deck, we're going to probably struggle to have the correct colors of mana all the time. But being able to have colorless cards is going to allow us to really focus on being able to have cards we can play at any time. So let's just look through these casually and see what else makes sense here. Gilded Lotus is a great card. Being able to tap for any color of mana. It costs 5. It's a little late gamey. But that said, this is great. I'm going to say that we could put that in. Adaptive Automaton, I don't think it's going to be great here. Hedron Archive, 2 colorless mana, drawing cards. I think that's going to be good. Expedition Map's going to be good because we can search our library for lands, reveal them, put them into our hands. And then this Ravenous Amulet, just looking at it, I don't think it's going to be really good. Being able to sack creatures, draw cards to put soul counters on it. We're not really a sacrificing creature strategy. Let's set that aside, but keep that in mind. Now, Steel Hellkite. This is a big card. Being able to fly, it's able to get bigger, it's all colorless. Being able to have a creature that we can play no matter what colors we have, I think that's going to be good in our deck. Pyromancer's Goggles. When this mana is spent to cast a red instant or sorcery spell, copy that spell, choose new carpets for the copy. I think this is going to be really good. It's a land ramp spell, being able to tap for red. Let's keep that in. Maze Mind Tome. It's able to allow us to scry and look at more cards in our deck. I think that's going to be huge. Darksteel Colossus. Great card. I'm not sure it's what our deck really wants. Let's set that off to the side. Cultivator's Caravan. 1 mana of any color. Cool. Basilisk Collar. I don't really know. Let's set it aside. It's a great card. Maybe. Meteor Golem. Maybe. Burnished Heart. Being able to search for basic land cards. That's huge. This is a card that's able to tap for any color of mana, and I like that. Let's set that off to the side as a maybe. Now, this is exciting. This is 3 Tree Mascot. It is able to filter the mana, color of mana that we have. It's colorless, and it's able to take our white and turn it into green, our green turn it into blue. I think that's going to be really effective for our strategy in order to be able to do stuff for Ramos. Soul Guide Lantern, it draws cards, but I don't know. I don't think it's that great. Sorcerer's Spyglass, good card. I don't think it's what we want here. We literally took every single gate from the starter deck, put it in here. Let's play the Gate Colossus. Fire Shrieker, quick creature has double strike. Good, really good. I'm going to set it off to the side because I'm not sure if here's the best place to put it. Felden's Cane, shuffle your graveyard into your library. Could be good, not sure. Diamond Mare, not sure. Swiftfoot Boots, very good card. Let's put it in. Let's say maybe, and you know what? Let's also say this multicolor card, being able to tap for any color. Let's run it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12, that's huge. So, let's keep looking. Now, when we want to play cards that are focused on getting lands out of our deck, green is going to be our big color land choice kind of way that we want to go. And I can already see some cards that we went over here that are going to be huge for land strategies. So let's get down to business. Let's start by looking through, and if they aren't really relevant to lands, I'm just going to kind of skip past them. This card's really good. This Elvish Regrower. It looks like it's a little bit of a fixed mana version of a card I really like. Eternal Witness does a similar thing where it's any card, but when this card enters, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. I love it. I want to play it. Being able to choose kind of anything and run with it. Overrun's very good. I'm not sure we're going to need it. Llanowar Elves also very good, but in a 5-color deck, I'm not super sure. Garruk's Uprising's really good. We have a bunch of cards that get really big and become big creatures. Being able to draw a card when we play this, and then whenever we play more big creatures, being able to draw a card, I think that's really good. Let's not do that. Bushwhack. Being able to search the library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into our hand, then shuffle. I love it. Let's see what else that we got. And we really, really want things that allow us to... Hey! Now check this out. We've got a Mythic here, and this Mythic allows us to spend mana of any type to cast creature spells. That's huge because in our 5-color deck, we're not always going to have the right colors of mana to play all the time. This is huge. I think this is going to be definitely in the deck. Rampaging Baloths, another card that's really good for kind of our land strategy. Primeval Bounty, check this out. It's an enchantment that makes beasts whenever we play creatures, puts +1/+1 counters when we play things that aren't creatures, and we play lands, we get 3 life. I think that's huge. Let's do that. Taking a look at more of our options here. Thornwell Archer is really good because it's allows us to be a strong blocker when we need it to. Going back and forth. It could be good. Let's see how many cards we need. If we really need to fill out the rest of our deck with things, then that could be good. But I don't think so. I think we'll only do it if we really need it. Spring Bloom Druid's really good. Allows us to search our library for basic land cards, put them into the play tapped. That's huge. And then I'm seeing what else we have here. Finn, kind of a death touch thing. Fierce Empath, it allows us to search our library for mana cost creature with mana cost 6 or greater, reveal it, put it into our hand, and shuffle. That's huge. And Circuitous Round allows us to search for gates. I love it. So, let's take a look if we have any other cards that do things specifically with gates. Since we're already playing almost every gate that we could find, I think it'd be really cool if we could lean into that strategy. Looking at Reds right now. Hey, Reds has one that's pretty cool. So this Dragon Master Outcast. At the beginning of our upkeep, if we have 6 or more lands, create a 5/5 dragon creature token with flying. That is really good. Being able to make our 5/5s so that way we can attack, that's huge. And in fact, we're already kind of beginning to see a strategy to this deck where we're able to attack, draw a bunch of cards, get more big creatures, be able to do a lot of different things, and have a lot of power at our disposal. I'm getting excited already just kind of thinking about this deck. Let's take a look at blue. And once again, I'm just kind of casually going through here looking for cards that say the word gate on them. There's other really great stuff in here, but I'm trying to just do what I think is kind of the beginner player thing and just choose things that go with the cards that I know would be really good. Now, here we go. Whenever a gate you control enters, this creature can't be blocked this turn. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Let's play the gate card. Very exciting. Now, 2 cards that I noticed when I went through here, and I think they're just Commander All-Stars and we should play them. One is Mystical Teachings. Being able to search our library for any kind of card is so valuable. Let's play a Mystical Teachings. And River's Rebuke, a sorcery, return all non-land permanents target player controls to their owner's hand. This card is devastating. We'll play that as well too. And now, before we go into white and black, because we already casually talked about building an Isley deck thanks to this, let's see how many cards we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then we had 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. 49, 49 plus 39. That puts us at 88 cards, meaning that we only have 11 more spots in this deck. That is huge. That means that we have effectively built one whole commander deck very quickly, 36 minutes, using just this $35 product. I'm going to be curious if we can get 2 commander decks out of it. And to think that in addition to all that, we still have a lot of red, white cards that we have not, red, green, and blue cards we haven't used yet. And we've purposely kind of kept away from white and black, hoping that we could build 2 decks out of all of this. So, we'll keep going. I'm going to be honest, this is really fun. This all started with, hey, maybe I can get enough stuff out of packs in order to open this. This starter collection stuff is actually really good. I'm getting really excited. And to think that the same thing you could do is you could pick 2 decks that don't have overlapping colors. Let's say you use the black-red commander, and you use, or not black-red, well, you could do black-red too, I suppose, or the blue-red. No, let's do the black-red. Let's say we kept the black-red commander, use that as one deck, and then we use the blue-green commander that's in this deck, Tatyova, as our other commander. That also would be a really strong combination, and you could probably build 2 decks out of this. This is exciting. Just taking a moment to check chat and see how everyone's doing. Our stream is still very much a work in progress here, so we're still developing what is the best strategy, what is the best way to look at things, what is the best background and such. So if you guys have any positive feedback, we'd love to hear that in the form of a comment. There we go. All right. So we've got all these, and already we can see our deck has super taken shape. Look at that. Already 88 cards. If we count these out, we should have 11 left. 5, 10, 1. Yep. We are sitting so pretty, guys. I'm so excited that this is working out. We have our Gates Commander deck here. And let's take a look to see if there's just anything else that uses Gates. I really don't want to touch these black and white piles at all if I can. Because if we can, I want to build a second deck. This is really exciting, what we have here. And I am not seeing anything that is specific to Gates off the top of my head, or really helps us with our lands strategy, or being able to continue down that path. So I think that's what we're going to do. Hey, okay, so here's a gate. This is the Archway Angel. Gain 2 life for each gate that we control. Okay. It says gate, so we will play it. Now, we'll leave black and white totally aside because we're going to try and see if we can build 2 decks out of this stuff. If we can build 2 decks out of what we have, I think that is such a ringing endorsement of this product. I won't even know what to say. And for that one, we'll even allow ourselves to dip into what we had in the packs. This is still just what we want to do in order to go here. So, a few things that I've thought already. As we've gone through, we've added a bunch of cards in here that allow us to search for a basic land and go get it. But a lot of our cards that we've used that allows us to get lands or to get started require green mana. So I think it's valuable for us. Let's get up fully to 39 lands and use a forest, a basic forest, in order to pad out our color count so that way we can have more reliability to what we have here. And then at that point, honestly, we still have 9 cards here that are just kind of flex spots. We can use anything that we want from the red, the blue, or the green. I think we should just take a look for like the flashiest, coolest things that we've got. Like here's Gutter Snipe. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, deal 2 damage to each opponent. Whenever a creature you control enters the battlefield, enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent. Goblin Negotiation, deal X damage to target creature, make that many red goblin tokens. This would be huge because if we get to use this with Ramos, that's 8 goblins right away. Being able to have X in our mana cost, that's huge. So let's do that. Let's look for things with X in the mana cost, or big creatures, big splashy things. Non-token creature enters that has to be a dragon. I don't think that's exactly what we want. Let's keep looking. We got a Hoarding Dragon here. Search your library for an artifact card, exile it, and shuffle. When this dies, put the exiled card to its owner's hand. Hey, I think that works pretty well for our strategy because we have artifacts in our deck. Let's go there. Abrade, very powerful card. It allows us to either damage a creature, kill it, or destroy target artifact. Great removal, very flexible. Hey, now this is cool. This Rite of Replication is a super, super valuable, very strong powerhouse card in Commander. Being able to just make a token of anything and then to kick it, like using Ramos's ability to make 4, 5 tokens of something, huge. Being able to use that off of Ramos' ability, it's our dream. Being able to cast a Negate. Negate is a super powerful counterspell. With that said, we also have Refute, which is a huge one. I'm going to add that to the deck because I love counterspells. Let's see what else that we have in here. See if there's something else that's really big. Tolarian Terror is really good. I'm not sure it's really what we want to be doing. Find an instant or sorcery card with mana value 1, reveal it, put it into your hand. Very good card. I'm not sure it's what we want. More counter spells. Basic islands. Can't be countered. Can't be countered. Hexproof. Flying. Sphinx of the Final Word. This is something that we can play off of Ramos's ability and be able to have a big creature in play. I like it. Let's add it. Finale of Revelation. Shuffle graveyard your library. Draw. Untap 5 lands. Have no maximum hand size. And it's a draw card for X. I think this is big. I think we could use this with. Ramos. Let's play it. Same with this Dictator Crewfix. Being able to, at the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws additional card. This allows us to kind of establish ourselves as a friend at the table, be able to be political. That's huge. I think we'll add that. Arcanus, very strong card, not necessarily playable off of Ramos's ability, so I'm not sure that's really where we want to be. We'll set those aside. Oh my gosh, we're going to be in a spot now where we have more cards than we actually have room in our deck. So let's keep looking here. This is keeping in mind that we have specifically... Wow, that's everything. That's every slot in our deck. We didn't even get the chance to go through green again. Look at this. That's huge. All right, let's just do one final sweep through everything else we have, because now we're entering kind of our tinkering phase. We have our starter deck. 45 minutes it took in order to get a basic starting deck for us to play. Let's see what else that we got. Reclamation Sage is very, very good. I'm not seeing anything in here that makes us think that we have absolutely to put it into here. Nothing has X in its mana cost. And well, actually this has X. Being able to play this with X +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on a non-Hydra creature you control, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. It actually works really well with Ramos. Let's try and fit that in still. Pelakka Worm, can't really play it off the ability, so let's set that aside. Let's see, Dragon Mage. When this creature deals combat damage to player, each player discards their hand and draws 7 cards. I think that could be a really fun politics card. We'll give that a shot. Gratuitous Violence, good. Just kind of double checking for X spells. See if there's anything that really stands out and really needs to earn a spot. Now, I do really like this Confiscate. I love being able to say, hey, that thing, you've lost your privileges. You can't have that anymore. That's so cool. Witness Protection's also really good. Being able to take someone's commander and just say, hey, that strategy, I don't like what you're doing. And being able to turn it into something else, really powerful card. Counter spells, a lot of people feel really bad when you play counter spells. It's a card and a strategy that I'm really nervous about kind of embracing too deeply. I think we'll stay away from that. And so even after all this, we've got 4 cards that I think are really, really good and be very valuable to our strategy. So let's separate our cards into lands and non-lands. We'll just double check what we've got here and see if there's anything that doesn't make sense now that we've built our deck. Now what's super cool is that I'm hoping that as we do more Magic the Gathering content on this channel, I want to keep this deck alive and be able to show it off, be able to use it as kind of a signature for this channel. And when we play in places, I want to be able to show people that, hey, this is a deck that you could build on a normal amount of money and still play with like other people and have fun. So just counting here, I saw 32 lands. We have some more things that we didn't fully finish into here. Let's see. Keep on going. Well, smart, I probably would have counted those as I added them to the stack, but I didn't. That's okay. I've got a whole bunch of cards in here. I'm just going to keep going through them very gently. Lots of things that help us find colors. Lots of things that are multicolor, so we'll get a lot of abilities off of Ramos. Lots of color fixing. Really exciting. I think this is a pretty strong deck. Like, for someone that is brand new, building a deck that is like actually powerful, this would be really cool. I think that this would be great for anyone to get started. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 39 lands. So, we still have these 4 cards that I think would be really great for our strategy. let's see what doesn't make sense now that we have been putting things together. I like to sort cards in terms of not just mana value, but also what their effective use is. So now we're looking at things that are really good because we're searching on finding a bunch of land, having the game go long, try to become friends with our opponents, and to be able to work together with players at a multiplayer table. So let's take a look. Things that I'm looking for now are, can we cast it off of Ramos's ability? Is it something that we're really focused on? And what's interesting here is this card's really good, but do we really have a lot of non-creatures? I think that might be worth paying attention to. Let's split into creatures, non-creatures, because with things like Vizier here, I think we actually are not going to have a lot of non-creature spells. We'll see as we do this. Because like this here, this will allow us to search our deck for creatures. Artifact here, enchantment here, creature, basic land, artifact, creature. I don't think we have any other bears in this. I think this will be huge. And actually, let's take this out, because you take a look here, this is a black-white card. This will work great for our Eiley deck. Not that it would be bad in here, but I think if we're going to try and build another deck, let's focus on putting the cards that would be really good at that deck into this deck, or into the other deck. We're still just sorting by creatures and non-creatures here. We can see that our creature pile is getting really big, which in my opinion is very good. That also means that it might be wise for us to take out the card that focuses on non-creature spells. Creature spells in general are also really good for us because they provide us with defenses. Here's another card that focuses on instants and sorceries. It's a really big creature with flying and hexproof and can't be countered. I like that aspect of it. But that last line of text there isn't really doing a lot for us. We'll keep that in mind as we keep going. Dryad Militant's a very good card, but it also affects us, not just our opponents. That's something that I'm going to set off to the side as maybe not a great option for us. Here's an enchantment. Mystical Teachings is a great card, even if we aren't getting full use out of it, by not having everything in our deck be instant or a card with flash. The card works great with our commander. More creature, instant, creature, non-creature. Okay. So looking at our stack, we can see that we've got a nice balance of creatures and non-creatures, but more creatures. I think that's really good. What that means then, in my opinion, is that we should try and take out creatures for creatures. So like, for example, here we have the Wildwood Scourge and the Dragon Mage. We're just going to take out 2 creatures to put in 2 creatures and set these off to the side. And then we have 2 non-creatures here. Let's see if we can isolate 2 non-creatures that aren't maybe the best and put in things that we like more. First thing that I remember talking about earlier was this tap for a chosen color, any color. That's really valuable in this 5-color deck because we can just choose whatever color we don't have at the moment. But maybe we don't need it. Let's take a look at what else we have and see what could be valuable. A Braid is good. Negate is good. Refute, little less good, but I want to give it a shot. It's a really exciting card from this. The other thing that's worth saying is that we need to make sure that if we're taking something that could be good in the Eiley deck, or just like better in the Eiley deck, we should take it out. I think one card, and this will sound weird to players, is that I want to take out this Pyromancer's Goggles. And the reason why is that, yes, it costs 5, it makes red, but we're not really a red deck. We're some red, but mostly green and multicolor. And if we're playing a red instant or sorcery spell, we're able to copy it, but how often are we really going to get to use this ability? I think it's a weak link here that we could be doing more cool stuff here. Let's see. Although it would be really valuable to use, Boros Charm would be cool, a Braid would be cool, the Goblin Negotiation would be really cool. But I think it's so few opportunities that maybe it's worth taking out. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So let's keep these. Let's take a look at our creatures one more time. And you know what? I think, based on this, we do have enough non-creatures, it's kind of half and half, to justify that every other spell after we play this, it's valuable. But let's see what else in here may not be super valuable to us. Death Touch. This is our big guy that instant and sorceries can't be countered. Let's see. I think the Dryad was a good cut. I think this is really good, even if it's only hitting half of our deck. Never another creature you control dies if it was attacking. Otherwise, deal 1 damage to each opponent. I think that could be a weak link here. It does work. I think Ruby could also be a weak link here. Ruby's also only really good when we're late in the game. Yeah. If we're late in the game, Ruby is a card that's not really going to gain us a lot of value. It's a great creature, don't get me wrong, but we really want to be able to reliably play it on turn 2, and with our current mana situation, I just don't think we're going to have that, let alone, especially green-red. So let's take that out. Let's take these two out. And we'll add Confiscate and Witness Protection, which are real all-star cards. And would you look at that? We've got a full deck now for our $35 investment for a 5-color commander, no less, and can play our first game against our friends with our own homemade deck. I think that is huge. And once we actually unpacked the cards and started looking, it took us about an hour. Now, obviously, I am an experienced player. I've had the opportunity to play and look at these cards for a long time, so it took me less time to build this than, say, someone else. I'm going to put this deck list into the video description, so that way when people catch it later, they can just buy their own starter pack and begin building it right away and be able to build their own Ramos with the same list, or maybe a few customizations if they feel like they did something different or want to do something different. But that said, what do we do with all of our extra cards now? Because we have so much extra here. Let's put stuff back into our collection kit. And I'm going to try and do it like an experienced Magic player, where we have white, blue, red, black, green, and other stuff. So here we'll put our red cards. Or, sorry, that would have been black. Here. Blue. These are all multicolored cards. And those are colorless cards. Here are extra cards. Here are green. And then we will put all these into the back corner here. And we're officially done building our first deck. Wow. Crazy stuff. I'm actually really shocked that for our investment, we were able to build a whole deck. And not just a deck, but a deck I'm excited to play. be ready to catch another video where we actually try to unleash this deck on a real opponent with a real deck. They're not going to know that I built this just specifically from a $35 product. I think that's going to be really exciting. Let's go the rest of the distance. Let's see, with our remaining cards, can we build a second deck? Could two people conceivably split this product, build two commander decks from scratch, and go from there? So let's take Idly. I didn't recommend this commander because it's kind of tough to build value and tough to work with. But let's say we just take her, and let's grab this plains, this swamp, and we'll set these other lands aside. We're going to put them into our extra of there. And we're going to set these here. We've got some plains. We've got our swamps. And all of these extra lands are now not in our commander color identity. So, can we build a deck out of this? Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 34. 34 lands is not awful. Let's take a look at our colorless lands. 34 plus these give it to 38. Honestly, at 38 lands, we have a mana base to build a second deck. So, let's see. 38 lands. We'll set this here. Let's start over the timer. Keeping in mind that it took about an hour to build the first deck. We'll see if we can build a second deck using this. Now, a lot of our choices are already made for us because we only have 2 colors available to us. We're going to use 38 lands, everything that we have left, and just these cards. So let's take a look. In here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. 34 cards here. Let's see if we have a similar number here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. That puts us at 69. Nice. Plus that is 70, meaning that we are officially, with this, 9 cards over, meaning that we can actually cut cards from here. We haven't even looked at these, which I said Fire Shrieker is really good. Sorcerer's Spyglass is really good. Soul Guide Lantern's really good. Meteor Golem's really good. Basilisk Caller's good. Darksteel Colossus is good. This card allows us to draw cards. Let's do it. This card is creature typal, and we have access to angels. I think, and we're kind of a life gain deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow. All right. Let's cut ourselves down to 61 cards. So let's start with the obvious ones. I think we should play this because it is a life gain deck. Is kind of what we're doing here. So anything that we have that allows us to gain life, let's just include it. So Diamond Mare lets us gain life. Let's see, each opponent loses life. Life Link. I'm looking for just cards that focus on life here. This allows the opponent to lose life. We lose life. Creature and opponent dies. Life. Let's see. Sacrifice this enchantment. Target opponent loses X life or X the amount of life we've gained this turn. We can get some value out of that. Just card and lose life. We draw cards, gain life. Let's see, this has life link. Let's see, if we lost life this turn, we gain life, each opponent loses life. Exsanguinate, gain life, lose life. Now this card is just really valuable, really good. Wishclaw Talisman, great card. So I'm going to include that here. This has lifelink, cool. Non-creature token that we control dies. We lose, deal 1 damage to us and draw a card. Very valuable card, very good. Whenever this creature, another vampire we control dies, we can pay black. If we do, target player loses 2 life and we gain 2 life. Interesting. Considering we're going to be playing a lot of black cards, I think that's valuable. Dread Summons. Each player mills X cards for each creature card put into the battle. Ooh, this would have been really good in Ramos. Ooh, I'm going to set that off to the side. See, that's one thing I find so fun about Magic, is that if we keep going and we keep looking, we find all kinds of things that are just really, really fun. Let's see, more things for life, Sack a creature, gain a life, draw a card. Gaining life. If we gain 3 or more life, this costs less. Very cool. Unchanging Referee. Okay, thank you for the spam. Whenever this creature attacks, each opponent loses 1 life. Life. Here, we gain some life. Whenever a creature or another creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life, we gain a life. Very cool. If we would gain life, gain that much +1 instead. Deals 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature, we gain life. Very cool. This gives us food, which lets us gain life. And whenever we gain life for the first time during each of our turns, make a cat. Everyone loves kitties. Let's see. We gain life, put a counter on this creature. Cool. Cats have life link. Love kitties. This lets us draw cards. We gain life for each creature destroyed this way. This makes more cats. We're beginning to see some typo advantages, some strategies here. Gain life, draw a card. Let's see. Whenever a white creature attacks, we gain 1 life. That's great. Lyra has lifelink. Let's see. More life here. Get a life, am I right? Why? Whenever we gain life, put a +1/+1 on this creature. And then another creature you control enters, gain a life. So very cool. Let's double check, make sure we don't have any duplicates, because I feel like we did. I felt like we had a second Ajani's Pridemate. Yeah, we did. Okay, let's take that guy out. Cool. So these are just cards that have to do with life. I think that's huge. Now, we've kind of also, as we went through, we got cats, we got angels, we got vampires. Let's take a look at those types and see if we can support those other things as we go through. So, soldiers. Here's a cat. Exile target creature or planeswalker that's black or red. Scry 1. Good, but kind of situational depending on our opponent. We'll put that there. Here's a cat. Dogs. Release the dogs. This is good removal. Let's see. This has to do with attacking, so that's cool. Zatalpa's a big dude. Being able to give things indestructible. Destroy target creature. Flying. Angel. Soldier. Soldier that makes more soldiers. Interesting. Hey, here's a kitty. Destroy target non-land permanent. Valuable. Indestructibility, like that. We can use that in addition to some of our other cards. Being able to give things double strike, especially some of our life linkers, is really good. So we'll include that. More indestructible. Green or right. Here's a vampire. Duress is a good card. Let's see. Zombie. Put cards into a graveyard. Myojin of Nice Reach is a very valuable card. valuable, not in terms of cost, but as like a very good card. I'm not hot on Demonic Pact. Choose one that hasn't been chosen. This enchantment deals 4 damage to any target you gain 4 life, or you lose the game. This card is very situational. I can't say it's really good unless we have a good way to get rid of it. I'd say let's get rid of that. Desecration Demon's really good. Zombify is really good. Let's see, Elf Warlock. This isn't bad. Here's a Vampire. And then, of course, all these cards that we identified earlier. So let's take a look at how many we have now. So we had 38. The magic number we're looking for is 61. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. No, not only are we able to make the second deck, but we still are able to cut 4 cards that we think may not be the best option or don't progress our gameplay. So let's set these off to the side. And let's take a closer look at what we have. Let's do what we did before in terms of creature, non-creature. And to think we've only spent 10 minutes working on this so far. And we already found something else that we'd like to put into Ramos too. We might be able to find something in Ramos that we'd like in this deck instead. Let's see. Creature, instant, enchantment, creature, instant, creature, sorcery, creature. Very cool. So many options here. So many options. So a few things that I've already just kind of seen. Enchantment cards are typically, enchantment auras specifically, are kind of a little less desirable, specifically because we're in a spot where if you use them once and then your creature dies, you're just done. You're in a bad spot. You have to throw away both cards. You get what's called 2 for 1. And if anyone knows, buying things at 2 for 1 is a great deal. But that said, if you are on the other side of the 2 for 1, you're getting the raw end of the deal. So something like Twin Blade Blessing, really good, but it opens us up to being 2 for 1. Not so sure that's a great opportunity for us. This one's kind of an exception. Enchanted creature dies, so it lets us go back to our hand. We don't really get 2 for 1 here. We have a lot of really great removal. Wow. Not a lot in terms of ramp, but we have some really good ways of gaining advantage here. This guy, when we have something that's for cats, we can make it be cats. If it's vampires, we can have it be vampires. That's really exciting. This big guy has Death Touch, and when it enters, we can search our library for a card, put it into the graveyard, then shuffle. And then we have some other cards that allow us to search our library to put something into search our library. Well, actually, we're not really a reanimating deck. We're not really a card that wants a deck that wants to put a bunch of stuff into the graveyard because we can't really abuse it. This card may not be super great for us. I'm going to set it aside. I'm happy I said something. Savannah Lions, also, while it used to be a really valuable card, not really great in Commander. So I think I'll set that aside as well, too. That is free enchantment removal. We'll keep looking because we still have 2 more that we need to cut. Cats, humans, life, vampires. Wow. I'm excited to see this in action. I'm not sure if it's going to be great, but I'm really excited. So we still have to cut 2 more cards. Just looking here, there actually is a card that we could go get with Violent Tumor that would be really good, and that's this Suspicious Shambler, because it has the ability to exile it from a graveyard and make zombie tokens. So I actually think let's put that in and keep that here. And actually, I'm looking more at some of these things that we have that we put into our not put pile. Like some of these here, release the dogs, being able to create 1/1 white dogs, which is really valuable. Some of these situational cards, the red or black, sometimes they're really good depending on the deck. I don't know. I don't think it's super valuable here for what we want. This Undying Malice is a very good card, so I'm going to set that off to the side. Since we are kind of a sacrifice deck, I think this Infestation Sage is really good. I think same with this Resolute Reinforcements, that can really be valuable. So with that in mind, all these extra ones, these black and white cards, I don't think we're going to use these. Let's put them into our extras over here. And we won't need those. Let's take a look. So then we have 4 cards we actually want to add. Let's say that we add these. 4, I think we removed 1. Not exactly the spot that we wanted to be. So how many cards are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 3, 2, 39. 39 here. So 39, we're at 69 cards, which means that we're at 100. Plus, that's 107. So we need to remove 8. Not exactly where we want to be. So, in a deck like this with Eiley, we want to be gaining life and want to have access to creatures. Let's take a look at the cards that are in here that don't support our strategy. We're going to set Swinblade's Blessing aside because even though it's flash, it gives double strike. It's not really what we want to be doing. This saves us from board wipes. Indestructible. Discards two cards or 2 creatures your opponents control, get -1/-1 till end of turn. This could be really good, but more often I think it's going to end up being the target opponent discards 2 cards mode. We'll hold on to it for now. I don't think it's going to be really valuable for us. Let's see, 3 damage target attacking or blocking creature. Return 2 creature cards from the graveyard to your hand. -2/-2, and we gain 2 life. Sack a creature, gain a life, draw a card. I actually like what we have in this pile so far. Okay. 7 cards still need to get rid of. Triple black could be tough, but we're in a 2-color deck, so maybe that's not so bad. Graveyard to the battlefield. We got some big dudes. It is a vampire, but it doesn't support our life gain strategy. It makes opponents lose life. I think this is a card that's just too weak for what we want to be doing. Yes. Okay. All of that seems pretty good. We'll cut these cards, get them into the box. And now we're down to 6 cards we need to cut. We know we don't want to get rid of any lands. We can't cut Eiley, which means that we just need 6 cards to cut. This is really tough. I'm honest here because a lot of these cards, this is a style of deck that I don't think I'm really great at piloting. I've tried. So I can't really tell you what would be super valuable here or not. This additional cost, sack a creature. When this creature enters, target opponent discards a card. You lose 2 life. You draw a card, you gain 2 life. I know drawing cards is going to be so important. Now, this is a sorcery card that's going to give us a bunch of blockers and work with some of our strategies. Exile target creature. I think we're going to cut Duress. It's a really great card in one-on-one. I think we're going to get rid of Seeker's Folly. Another good card for one-on-one, but just in Commander, it's going to be less valuable. Difficult. We're down to 4. We'll cut these 2. 4 cards left to remove. I see we got 1 viewer in the chat. I appreciate you for hanging on. If you're a Magic the Gathering player, give us some suggestions. What do you think would be great cuts for this deck? I think we talk about having things that are too cute. And I think this search your library for a card, put this into the graveyard. This is just a touch too cute. We're not really a zombie deck. So while this is a good little zombie synergy, I think I'd rather see this number go down to 2 and get that there. Which means that we only have 2 cards left. If we're cutting cards from the zombie strategy, let's see what other zombies are in here. See, when a non-token creature you control dies, this creature deals 1 damage to you and you draw a card. Drawing cards are just going to be so valuable. I think we should hold on to that. This demon, it's a 5/4 flyer. I'm game to hold on to it. 2 cards, huh? With how many times we want to sacrifice something, I think the dogs are going to be valuable sacrifice fodder. A lot of times Joust Through I think might be too weak. Being able to only gain 1 life, sure. Well, no, see, with gaining life though, it's going to activate some of our creature abilities. So I think with that in mind, we want to still hold on to that. Gaining life here, gaining life, gain life. Yeah, I just feel like... Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of good stuff in here that allows us to keep gaining life. I don't think we're in a spot where we want to remove too many more of this. If anything, maybe we want to get rid of the Fire Shrieker, but the Fire Shrieker will allow some of our Death Touch creatures to have First Strike, and that's huge. Especially if we can get it on like our Vampire Nighthawk. That's just so valuable. Darksteel Colossus. So 11 mana for an 11/11 with Trample and Indestructible. Being able to give our enchantment creature here would be huge. Being able to give it the Double Strike would be huge. I think it's valuable to hold on to. Desecration Demon is a card that people don't think is great, but I think the political aspect of this would be really fun. Gatekeeper of Malakir is a great card in one-on-one. I think in multiplayer, maybe this card just isn't good enough. So we'll take that out. Target player's graveyard. Lifelink. Other angels have lifelink. Human Noble. White creature controls attacks, regain life. Cats get lifelink. Man, are we going to be at a spot where we really need to just cut 1 card? I think we are. Let's take out Gatekeeper of Malakir. And we're down to just 1 card left to cut. We've got a lot of great flash here. We've got a lot of great sorceries. Being able to look in an opponent's hand and being able to deactivate mana abilities or activate abilities is really valuable. I think we really do have all the pieces of a nice little life gain deck here. And the fact that I'm struggling to figure out what the right card to cut is from this, I think speaks a lot to the power of what we saw in here. Cat Beast, Cat Soldier, tough choice. Well, I think in low-powered games, Sorcerous Spyglass is probably the weakest card in this deck because a lot of the things that we have here aren't activated abilities. Some of them are, not all of them are. I know new players will get confused with the idea of activated abilities. I think Sorcerous Spyglass, while an exceptionally good card that allows people to take a look at what your opponent is doing and understand what it works, I think it is too narrow of a hate piece, and let's take it out. It doesn't support our creature strategy anyway, which means we are now at 2 commander decks built from the Foundation Starter Collection, which is just crazy to me that we were able to build 2 decks right out the gate from this. And I'm even taking a look in here just to see, like, we still have a Scoured Barrens that we could put. We have another Evolving Wilds. Heck, that makes our life incredibly easier if we wanted to make the mana base more consistent. We had a second Hero's Downfall if we wanted to put it into the... Yeah, I'm just looking at all of this and I'm shocked at how good of a deck we were able to build from, like, 2 good decks that we were able to build from this $35 product. And that is before we even touch anything that we had here from our packs, which there was some good stuff that we got in the packs. So there's nothing to scoff at there. That said, I have been streaming for 2 hours. I want to thank Deja for 429 for following and joining us on the stream. I think I might tinker with these just a little bit more, and I've got some great Magic the Gathering boxes and packs that we can open up on Instagram over the next week or so. I'm going to flip to the scene that you guys can actually see me on, but how exciting is this? 2 great decks we were able to build out of the starter and be able to run with them. Now, how well do they hold up? How well do they play against each other? How well do they play against real decks? I guess that'll be more streams and more videos to come. But with that in mind, thank you everyone for watching. If you guys saw this VOD on YouTube, please consider liking and subscribing if you like this. Check out the description and my Mox field for more deck details and how we decided to build these decks. Thanks for watching.